people, welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best, and we are here to go over our weekly review of 90 Day Fiancé. This is season 12, episode 14. Before we get started, just want to give a big shout out to our moderators. We have American Born, who is picking up a roommate, but who is here letting you guys know it is safe to comment. I also hope you guys consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel. You can also hype the video, share it, all of those good things. They do help to support the channel and keep it going. I don't have any comments from him, but shout out to our moderator, aka our honorary IT guy, Mr. Osobest, because he do be helping me in the background with all of this, and I genuinely do appreciate it. So let's shout him out as well. But this is season 12, episode 14, titled On Borrowed Time. I just want to say to TLC, the network that started as the Learning Channel, I want you guys to recognize and listen to your audience. There's no reason that this episode should have been 2 hours. There's no reason. There's no reason the episode should be 2 hours unless every single episode I'm seeing every single couple. If I'm not seeing every couple, every episode, there's no reason for you guys to take up 120 minutes of my day. Okay? I'm just saying. There's no reason for it to be so long because this is one of the most boring seasons I've watched of 90 Day Fiancé. I'm not going to lie. We know that half of these couples are not going to make it, and I'm not invested. I'm not invested enough to have them waste time. Y'all can give that. Anywho, that's my TED Talk. I am also curious to those who are joining and watching this video. Let me know if you guys are watching the double lives of Suburban Wives. I am considering covering that show, so let me know. Let me know. We have another moderator here, aka Shani. I just adore Shani, y'all. That's my friend. But she is also a moderator. Hello to Shani. I don't know if Tariq is nearby, but what's popping from the Bay Area to New York, aka the East Coast. Shani said, I finally got through the episode. It only took me 3 days. Not it took you 3 days, Shani. My goodness. American Born, what's happening? AB actually left Shani. I believe AB is driving. AB is driving somewhere. It was only fun 2 hours when it was Daniel and Lisa. I agree. 90 Day before the 90 days, they did so well. They're going to make it difficult for other like follow-up seasons to do good because they gave. Well, mostly Lisa and Daniel gave, but not, before the 90 days was definitely entertaining. Shout out to Xbox gamers. I am also an Xbox gamer. That's what I'm going to be doing as soon as this live ends, okay? I'm going to be hopping on my Game Pass and I don't know what I'll play. I'm either going to play an RPG game or Forza. We shall see. But let's get into the episode, beautiful people. There's not much, but there also is some stuff to go over. We're going to start with Marissa and Edward. She bores the hell out of me. I cannot lie to y'all. Marissa is either boring or getting on my nerves. Her and Edward keep opening up every episode. And I'm kind of like, why do we need Marissa and Edward to open every episode? They argue about the exact same things constantly. And I'm just kind of tired of hearing it. I'm drained. I really am drained of it. So Marissa is doing an exercise class. For those who do not know, she is not with Kleinfield doing the bridal stuff anymore as a CEO. However, she did invest in some other companies and businesses, and one of those is her fitness thing. So she's doing something called bar exercises. It does not look easy. This lady, you could say a lot about Marissa, but one thing we can't talk about is her body. The lady's in shape, and I think her body looks great. I know some people on Facebook in the Facebook group for 90 Day Fiancé were, kind of trying to body shame her because she don't got a big old badonkadonk, but not everybody has a big old badonkadonk. I'm just happy if people are healthy. Marissa needs to work on getting a foundation that matches her skin tone. She needs a tan. And I prefer her hair up, not down. Because down, it just looks like when I did my first quick weave in high school. And it stresses me out. But she has Edward in her exercise class and things go well. He thought he was going to be able to handle it. It was like, let me get the heavier weight. And she was like, Okay, fine. And he sees that the class kicked him in his rear end. And she did thank Edward and said that it meant a lot to her for him to be there with her during the classes, just because they've been in a negative place because of Marissa. And she says it's nice that he's showing interest in the stuff she likes. And I'm kind of like, Marissa, he's been showing interest in the stuff that you like. You just have not wanted to accept it. Instead, you want to complain about what he needs to do and the money that you want him to make that you know he literally can't make until he has a regular visa and marries you. But okay, girl. And Marissa, stop telling your ex and your baby daddy. Stop sending people out to defend your character. Talking about, oh, Marissa's not this bad. Well, I'm going to assume she's this bad because an edit can only do so much. You have to give production the content to edit. So please stop with the Marissa got a bad edit stuff. I really think this is who she is, but I don't think she means any harm, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to beat her up, but I don't want to. I get annoyed when people go on reality TV and then are like, it was a bad edit. Okay. Now, they go on a date because they've been moving in a good direction. And when they go on this date, Edward explains that he's going to order a drink. He ordered a gin and tonic. And he kind of over-explained. He was like, I want to own one because I've been happy, because over the past weeks, there's just been this going on and that going on. And I'm looking and I'm kind of like, nothing wrong with it. Order a drink. You're finally, it's buffering already. Is it doing that? I'm just going to go off camera because there has been an issue with StreamYard and things buffering and whatnot. So I am going to go off camera. I hope that helps, Shani. I do hope that it helps. I'm also turning off the Wi-Fi and on other devices in my house. So hopefully that helps with the buffering. Please let me know if it does. If it does not, again, I'm sorry in advance, but please let me know if you can hear me, if you are watching. But they get into it because Edward wants to talk about the fact that he said he's going to be honest and direct and says that he was unsure if Marissa was going to change. And he's happy to see that she changed, but he's just explaining that it's something that he was concerned about. Okay, you can hear me clear now. I am happy. I don't understand what StreamYard be doing with the buffering. I have made IT aware. They say that they're aware that it's a mass issue, but they still have me like, send us the link to the stream so that we can see what's going on. So I'm going to email them this stream as well until they figure it out. She said every time StreamYard messes up, I'm ratting them out, as you should. Because I honestly, at this point, would caution other creators that are new to YouTube with using StreamYard because there's a lot that I just don't like how they do, but they are right now the best option. But I'm considering switching to Streamlabs. I'm over it, totally over it. But Marissa interrupts Edward when he's trying to explain how positive things have been. And Marissa interrupts and is like, I just want to focus on the positive. I don't want to think about anything too dark, or I don't want to get into heavy conversations. And I'm like, my goodness. So he keeps trying to bring these things up, and she doesn't want to have serious conversation. And she has to understand that the only reason that he is interested in having serious conversation is because this lady has made him feel not good enough. The lady has made him feel not good enough. And I feel like that's on Marissa. That's definitely on Marissa. You need to make, let's see if my camera works. My camera is still kind of not working. Now my camera's blurred. I can't win for nothing. But I'm here. Hey, y'all. I don't understand how Marissa could start so much crap with this man to make him not feel comfortable and make him not feel like he is able to speak on the things that impact him. But when she wants to speak on what impacts her, she's just going to yap and chat and yap. And I'm kind of over Marissa. I'm genuinely over Marissa. I'm tired of it. I'm genuinely tired of it. Oh, I was clear on the screen. Okay, I'll come back on screen. It looks weird on my end, but it could be StreamYard. Who knows? But as long as it's clear for y'all, that's all I care about. We're going to do the best we can with what we got. That's all we could do, is the best we can with what we got. Now, I'm going to stay on camera. Just let me know, you guys, if it buffers again, and I'll go off camera. Shout out to Kiwan JTV because I learned that from her channel. But I'm annoyed with Marissa just for the fact that you make someone uncomfortable, and then once they're uncomfortable and you're comfortable again, they're not allowed to express what they went through. I think in her mind, she thinks because she admits to being awful that she can just be that. But she ends up walking away after she says to Edward, she's like, it's stupid. We don't need to talk about it. And Edward stood up for himself as he should. He said, we're not just going to say something is stupid because you called it stupid. It's not stupid to me. That's right, Edward. Get her together. Because who the hell does she think that she is? Girl, you look like you could have birthed your mama and you coming at this man. And I don't like that you went to another country looking for a man, understanding the difference between that country and this country, and then you still try to change him. Like, no, I'm sick of her. But Marissa made it even more serious than it was by running off and complaining. And I'm starting to realize when she doesn't get her way, she runs off and throws a fit. I think Marissa is spoiled. And it's probably because of her family. I don't think she's a bad person, but she's definitely spoiled. And if she's not getting her way, she seems extremely bothered by things. And I really don't like that. Let me go through these comments, y'all. They open the episode with them so that way we can get them over with, damn, and don't have to deal with them no more. I kind of agree because Marissa and Edward, I'm not interested in them. I'm sorry. I'm genuinely not interested in them. I'm just not. Let me see what is next. As soon as the class started, I was talking to the TV. Drop them 12 pounds, homie, and pick up them 4 pounds. Right. I actually really like exercise classes and stuff like that. The problem is I am more introverted outside of YouTube. So I always like have the intention to do exercise classes. And then because I live in the Bay Area, it's always a cajillion people there. And I'm like, nah, just go for a walk around the block. I'm going to assume she's worse. LOL. That's that snarky comment she made at the table. Damn. She might be worse. Okay. She might be worse, Olivia. Thank you for hopping over here to this live as well. Shani said, I really don't like the way she talked to him, telling him to put the napkin in his lap when they sit down at dinner. Don't talk too much. Don't drink too much water. Don't breathe too loud. Shani says, shut the fuck up, ho. You know what pissed me off? When she was like, lower your voice. Girl, you're not talking to your kids. Who you think you're talking to? That's your man, not your kids. If I were to tell Mr. Ben lower his voice like that the way I would a kid, he would probably loudly sing supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. He'd probably start doing cartwheels. Ain't no way you just go talk to people like that. Marissa has no respect. I'm surprised she didn't tell him to get water since she is paying for the dinner. I think she likes paying for the dinner because the moment Edward gets a job, y'all, if we're being honest, if we keep it 100, the moment that man gets a job, she's going to have less control. And I feel like she's going to start touting bills and all this other stuff around. Like, Marissa's a mess. Shani said it ain't 4K HD, but you clear. That's the thing. I pay for it to stream me in 4K HD. But we're going to work with what we've got. My apologies, y'all. Next week I'll be clearer. I'm just over it. It's been an interesting week for streaming, but I'm gonna still show up and show out. Edward should have been in the city this weekend because it was the Dominican Day Parade going down 6. I saw online that Carnival was happening out there. Happy Carnival to everyone that celebrates. Support the channel. Hey, Kiwan, like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get Thuggy to 1K. Let's get Kiwan to 1K. She is closer, y'all. She's extremely close. Tell a friend. Tap in with Kiwan JTV, baby. Get it done. Get her done. Why not? Ay. Happy to see Kiwan here. Love to see it. He go be outside. Living his best life. Shani said, I wish a MF would tell me to lower my voice. Do you all remember Grace Jones and Boomerang, the restaurant scene? I need Shani to do movie reviews or podcast movie reviews because the way that Shani gets into all of it, she got a movie quote for everything. That's me with a song. It was two different things. They had like Jamaica Day in Brooklyn one day, which was Saturday. And then in the city, Manhattan, they had the Dominican Day parade. That's why I like places like New York, because there's a lot going on. This is part of why I struggle to leave the Bay Area, because San Francisco is the same way. There's always a lot going on. But I live right across the bridge, 10 minutes from the city. I can go over there, enjoy it, and get the hell out and go home where it's normal and not so congested. So I enjoyed that. Y'all, we're going to move on from Marissa and Edward and into our Slam Pig and Josh. Now, the Slam Pig, for those who are new to the channel, is Katie. We call her Slam Pig because we got the term from Rosie on Housewives of Rhode Island. However, Katie is truly the definition of a Slam Pig because her mouth literally goes on anyone at any time against that person's will. I said what I said, and it's not alleged, it's on camera. It's come out her own mouth. She also is a devout Lutheran. They Judge and Josh talk about he gonna go to hell for being agnostic, but they are Lutheran and aware of what it means to sin and to do right. And Katie's not going? Okay. But they discuss her bachelorette party. She was proud of herself because she did not cheat on her man. She was proud of herself, which is crazy. Kiwan J with the shameless plug. I'm here for it. You guys, you can click this link if you are in the live chat. You could click Kiwan's bubble, get to her channel that way. I believe the link to her channel is also in the description of this video. I can't remember who all I put in there, but I feel like Kiwan is in there. Check Kiwan, because I never remember who I put in there. I just be atting people. I never know. Now, Katie didn't cheat, and she thinks she's supposed to get like an award or a cracker or something for not cheating. That's the expectation when you enter a monogamous relationship, is to not cheat. I don't cheat on my husband. I get nothing for it. He doesn't cheat on me. I don't give him anything for it. It's just the expectation. We're not going to cheat. I don't understand. But Katie is telling Josh this, and, you know, he was happy, but then she took it to hell because he could not enjoy the joy of his girl finally not cheating on him, because she followed it up. It was like, yeah, so what's going on with you? And Josh is like, well, I was really upset and I had a bit of a drink the other night because I don't feel welcomed in the U.S. considering the climate around immigrants here in the U.S. Pretty much what Josh is saying is, under the Trump administration, unless you are rich or white, you're pretty much not welcomed and ICE is coming after you. And even if you're an American citizen who's born and raised here like me, I was born at Highland Hospital in Oakland, California. I've had ICE follow me, demand an ID, and they just followed me around my route as I did home visits until I called San Francisco Police Department to explain, I feel harassed. They're following me. I'm a social worker. What's up with that? You know? And then magically, they called me some choice names and left me alone. So, you know, I thought it was insensitive of Katie to ignore the concern from an immigrant who's immigrating to this country in the climate of what this country is right now as it relates to immigration. It was inconsiderate of her to hear his concerns and then say, oh, well, how do you feel about open relationship? Bitch, he just told you that he was sad and doesn't feel safe, doesn't feel welcomed. And then in addition to that, every time you go out, you come back talking about you kissed this person, you slept with this person. You blame it on your OCD, which pissed off the OCD Foundation for the country. They came out and spoke against what TLC is showing of this lady on the show. And now you can't even listen to his problems because your bigger concern is, before we get married, you know, what if we get married and, you know, right now it's okay, but what if in 5 years I really want to make out with someone else? Can we be, my husband in the background, y'all can't hear him say, leave a comment, oh so best, my husband in the background talk about she's a 304. She is a hoe. He is right though, because there's two problems I saw that are very evident. One, you cannot be in a relationship of any sort, whether it's a friendship, a brotherhood, whatever the hell. You can have no relationship of any sort if someone says to you, I'm going through this, it's impacting me. And your response is, well, I need this. I have to make out with random people who don't want me to make out with them because she just be kissing people. I'm like, what? Now, let Katie have been a Black woman with this same egregious behaviors and people would have called her a predator. People would have said that she is someone that's coming at people, like, they would have said egregious things about her. And she's just getting away with this, which is absolutely insane. But she asked him about the open marriage and being nervous about, monogamy, and doesn't think that monogamy is for her. Well, if monogamy is not for you, then why the fuck did you enter a monogamous relationship? You stupid raggedy hoe. I don't understand it. I just don't. I just want to go to the bush and weep. Like, I don't even know. Katie make my teeth want to fall out, not itch. Like, she gets on my everlasting nerve. But that was pretty much all that happened with her and Josh. He keeps saying he's fed up, but I'm looking at Josh like, bro, you're some sort of a problem too. Because what person, it's not about being a man, a woman, gay, straight. What person is willing to stay with somebody who has no respect or regard for their emotions in any way? Where they do that at? Ugh, just can't. I cannot. Shani says, sometimes I be worried about Tariq with the spelling of his first name and the cops stopping him. But as soon as he opened his mouth, they gonna know where he's from. I feel like he should be okay. It seems like you raised a gentleman with sense. So I feel like he'll be okay. And that's the beauty about being from certain locations. When somebody open their mouth and talk, you know where they from. Like, a lot of times when ICE stops me, they assume that I'm fresh off the boat from Africa, which I take as a compliment because I would love to look African versus like everybody else. However, when I get to talking, they're like, oh, your English is great. They've said that to me before. I'm like, why wouldn't it be? I just be looking at people when they do that to me. Africans too, they come up to me speaking Igbo a lot, and I'm not even Nigerian. I just look at them and respond back in the most American of ways that I can respond back. People just make assumptions, but remember, we're not supposed to make assumptions. You'll make an ass out of you and me. See how I did that? See how I did that? Kiwa say, yuck. I know. Katie and her friends are dorks. Katie's friends are dorks. I think to call Katie a dork is a compliment, and I don't want to issue her any. His parents better say something next episode. They better, because we get into the weddings we should be getting at the end of it. Josh sounds like he's passive. Kiwan, he may be passive, but I'm starting to think that he's getting something out of being with this woman, because he speaks up, but then he just accepts it. So he's very confusing how he handles it. Olivia said, oh, it happens all the time. Africans from all over. I don't have Sudanese people come up to me saying stuff. I have no idea what they are saying. Nigerians, all types of people. Why are you denying where you're from? I said, I'm from here. I was born at the county hospital. Shout out Alameda County. My God. AB, welcome back. I'm glad you made it back safely. Thank you for being here. Josh wants to be Posh Spice. Olivia, please. Olivia, not Posh Spice. Love the Spice Girls. Still to this day, I will slap the Spice Girls proudly through the streets of Oakland. I don't care. Sure will. But also, Oakland's a weird city. You go to the hood and you expect to hear certain things. Out here, you see niggas in box Chevys slapping Miley Cyrus party in the USA. No lie. We're a different type of area. Hey, AB, my favorite head moderator in charge is here. Okay. We love AB. We really do. Finally back home. It always feels good to get back home. It always feels good to get back home. They say Josh walks around looking homeless. He does. One of my very good friends, John, lives in Portland and has sent me things about Josh. He absolutely does walk around Portland looking homeless. He has this big ass backpack that looks like he's going camping or playing Outlast on Netflix. I don't know why he does this. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want. I love that song. Shout out to you, Shani. Who is next after Katie and Josh? Because the Slam Pig didn't give us much. She didn't give us much at all. Debbie and Mito. Not Katie kicked them out. They're going to put her out too once they see the mattresses she bring. Lord help us. Now, Debbie and Mito are now engaged, but now that he has finally proposed to Debbie, he is dragging her cooking. But I'm kind of not mad at Mito. If I get with somebody from New Orleans, Louisiana, and you don't know how to cook, what are you doing with your life? They're famous for food. Now, I know realistically there are people there who can't cook, but what are you doing with your life? I was cooking at 7.5, 8 years old because of people from New Orleans. Shout out to everybody from NOLA. I love y'all. Y'all all my cousins. Probably, literally, are my cousins. But now that they are at this cooking class, they're having a time. And the chef there was super chill. And, he's like, so what are you guys here for? What are we celebrating? And there was like a awkward pause. And then Debbie was like, you want to tell him? We're engaged. We're engaged. And I'm looking at Debbie like, there's no way you can be. This is proof. You can make good money and have success in life and still be as dumb as the wall behind me. Okay? It's just the only way that this could happen. And I'm not understanding quite why Debbie was so proud to say about the engagement, but Debbie was grossed out by shrimp. I said, how you in Louisiana, separate from New Orleans, and you grossed out by any type of seafood? When I say that's a state, has one of the worst economies in the country, unfortunately. However, that is a state where most of their economy comes from their fishing, I believe fishing, oil, and healthcare, depending on the location. But I'm just surprised she was grossed out by the shrimp. Mida was getting it done, though. Now, Debbie started talking about her engagement to the chef instead of cooking, which kind of threw me off. This is how you know that Debbie is a pick-me and is just happy to have a man and settling. I think this lady might truly be lonely because she's telling the chef, she's like, yeah, our engagement, he's from Egypt, but he told me that he's going to go back to Egypt. I was so upset. When I think of my engagement, I said, oh, wow, he really got down on one knee, this man from Oakland. It was a nice engagement. Nothing too crazy. We was at our friend's house getting lit, but it was something memorable and filled with good memory. Debbie's proposal, she was melting. She was literally the Wicked Witch of the East melting, except she's not so wicked. Like, I did not understand any of that. But now she's talking about it like it's the best thing ever. And apparently Debbie is happy. That's what she says, at least. Now, Debbie is planning the wedding because at this point, most of the couples are like maybe a week out from their actual wedding day. And the premise for those who are new to 90 Day Fiancé of the show is they're getting what's called a K-1 visa. So that's 90 days. They can be in America for 90 days, but they're welcome to stay in America if after those 90 days they get married. If they don't get married, you're getting your ass deported. Now, I get that everyone has to plan, but I just feel like Debbie is really just settling in a way that's just kind of sad to watch. And then she also gets very sensitive about YouTubers like myself and how we comment on the show. But she's inviting her kid. She has a son as well. He's 24. Sounds like he's a college kid. If he's 24 and went to college right out of high school, he's probably almost done with school. And I'm assuming is getting his life started. And then we know Debbie has her daughter. Now, Debbie is focusing on inviting her kids to the wedding. There's not going to be anybody there. It looks like she's just having her kids to come. And I was like, I guess your friends ain't coming because Mido don't like them. So she meets up with her friends to tell them, hey, the wedding's happening like next week. Oh, by the way, you're not invited. I don't like it. I really don't like that she's doing this, but I guess it's important for her to have her kids there. Her friends try to talk sense into her, but her friends also let the cameras know, like when Debbie has made her mind up about things, there's nothing that anyone can do to change it. Like she just goes straight for it. So while I understand that, I think that that's something that's kind of hurting Debbie, because sometimes it's good to change your mind. Sometimes it's good to take the opinions of others and put it into play, because obviously what she's doing for herself is not working. But her friends learn because Debbie gets a text message from her son that he might have to work and he may not be able to make the wedding. She's telling him about this wedding at the last fucking minute. And her friends pulled the switcheroo and were like, oh, well, this is just a college job. It's his college job. Why the fuck should he have to stop his life because his mama's stupid and dingy? That's selfish of her. You chose to get a 90-day visa. You should have been told your son about this. Then she says her child is protective of her. We'll see if he really has a job or if he's really just trying to avoid, the wedding. But Debbie says she won't get married without her kids. We'll see if her kid shows up. I know in real time she's married, but I just feel like people like Debbie, I don't ever want to see them back on this show. The level of delusion within Debbie is like way too much for me. Like it's genuinely just way too much. I can't with Debbie. But at this point, it's like if you want to be his doormat, then do you, boo. What are we going to do, Debbie? You want to be this man's doormat and the way that he stays in the closet, then have at it, my dear. Have at it. And Mito, you ain't shit. And Debbie's friend was right. That's not how we do things in America. In America, you may have found this with Debbie, but get with an American woman your age, Mito. Find you a 41-year-old American woman. The way she would have had your ass in Lake Pontchartrain and hoped that you drown, okay? No, he would not have gotten away with that. He would not have gotten away with that. American Born says he probably left her slam pig behind, and I don't... He walking around with a big backpack and all his clothes because he don't, if when he get back home, he's still gonna have a home. Now he don't know messing with Katie. I mean, he did have her come. Katie did have that man come to the US with no apartment. She was lucky to get that apartment. Literally. And Debbie's a grown woman who can't cook. That's foul. You made it to your 60s and live in the food capital of the world and can't cook. Irked my soul. Irked my absolute soul. Because she said something about, I think, tuna and eggs. And I'm like, that is not cooking. I saw today Mito claims Debbie DV'd him. I thought the article was saying that Mito was trying to avoid Egypt because of DV. I may have read that wrong. But if she did, good. Bye. Leave, Mito. Go be a star where you at. You claim you was already an Egyptian star. Get back to your movies out there then, player. What can we do? Y'all got to help me out. Is this the show with the white lady and the African man? Well, it's 90 Day. There's usually a white woman with the African man somewhere. But in this case, I think you're thinking of before the 90 Days with Lisa and Daniel when she pooped on him. So 90 Day Fiancé has a bunch of like spinoffs, kind of like Housewives has Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. 90 Day has before the 90 Days, 90 Day the other way, the regular 90 Day Fiancé, and then they have before the 90 Days as well. So there's a bunch of different shows. But girl, I can't wait for Before the 90 Days to come again. But we'll never get another season like Lisa and Daniel. We will never get another season like that. Unless they film Lisa and Ty, her new African man, because she got some new work. Oh, Lord. Thank you guys for answering Kiwan's question. Debbie is a catfish. Yes, she definitely is. I agree with that. Kiwan said, I'm one of the NOLA people that cannot stand cooking. I don't cook and I have PTSD. But you know how, right? Even if you don't cook, like I'm a great cook, but I probably only cook like maybe 3 times a week, sometimes 4. But, you know, you could probably fry some chicken and make a sandwich if you need it, girl. Sound like Debbie not doing nothing but dealing with tuna salad and bread. She told him that she could cook, and he called her out on it in the confessional, and she probably promised to take him to LA as well. I think Debbie was promising Mito the world. I really do, because it always comes out. And when he's saying something she promised, she just looks straight ahead at the camera. I'd be like, girl, just admit you lied as well. Mito is back in Egypt being a tour guide again. Good. May all tourists be warned about him. Lord. Mito is trying to show that he can be an Oscar-winning actor with the attention that he's trying to show Debbie right now. But we can see it in his face. He don't even want to hold her hand. Thank you. Literally. Literally, literally, literally. Olivia, she thought putting eggs with tuna is cooking. Canned tuna. Now, if Debbie caught that fish, descaled that fish, cooked it up, and then did it that way, fine. But you're not going to come on here, Debbie, thinking cooking is chicken of the sea. Stop. That is not cooking. You're meal prepping. I don't blame him either. Olivia says she wouldn't be surprised if she promised him the world. He's scamming for sure, but she definitely promised him things, and now he looks bad or worse. Clock it, Olivia, because Debbie is not innocent in all of this. At all. At all. If you put eggs and tuna together, you better have some mayonnaise and some cooked macaroni. Shetty, please. Lord. I think Debbie's son also played a part in Mito going back to Egypt. I hope so. Mito is trash. Like, I think it's nice that the 90-day visa exists for the people who truly do find love across the world. But shows like this abuse it, and I'm surprised the government still allows it. But let's call a spade a spade. Trump is so busy trying to catch black and brown immigrants that he's ignoring shows like this that show all these people coming in this country bullshitting. Because Mito is definitely here. He's using Debbie to be here. That's all I'm going to say. When she said she wasn't going to get married without her kids, I was waiting for her friends to whisper to each other, yo, let's call the kids and tell them. I would have called her kids so fast. If that's really like a close friend, I would have called her kids. Your mama doing this and I can't get her to change her mind. But I think Debbie's full of shit. I think she's saying she wouldn't get married, but she gives me someone that would marry without them kids present. Debbie tried to climb on top of him the wedding night, and he said, I can't. My God. Kiwa said, I can cook. I know you can. Okay, you raised 2 healthy children. I know you could cook something. Not feeling like it and knowing how is 2 different things. Kiwan, this bitch can't cook. Okay. Debbie cannot cook. Okay. How you got 2 sons and you can't cook? Ciao. Oh, is it spinning for everybody else? Let me go off camera again. Still having StreamYard issues, you guys. I'm going to go off camera again, and hopefully that resolves. Mr. Best, if you could hear me, can you check if my sound is messing up, please? Thank you. We're going to get into Thomas and Paola. Word on the curb is Paola is single, and if she is, I'm going to do a whole church dance because I like Paola a lot. Don't care for her for TV. I feel like she's a little boring, but I do like Paola a whole bunch. She's pulling out camping equipment, though, because her family's coming in town, and she's complaining about where the family's going to sleep in their 1-bedroom apartment. That's only a couple hundred square feet. Thomas did try to warn her. I cannot stand Thomas at all. Thank you, Papa Bear. I appreciate you. I cannot stand Thomas at all. But he was right when he said that 8 people cannot fit into an apartment that's small. That is the only thing I will give him. But Thomas bitches more than a bitch that's bitching. Okay? It's driving me crazy. It's driving me absolutely insane. I'm sorry it's spinning for you guys. I'm doing the best I can with what I got. So sorry, but I'm gonna just stay off camera for the remainder of it. Hopefully that helps. If not, so sorry. I hope she left Thomas. He is a punk. He is. And he is also very annoying. But I think she did leave him because she had posted something like she's restarting and not dealing with him anymore. So hopefully that's really what it is. I just don't like him for her. He's a selfish bitch of a man who expects for her to make every occurrence to make him comfortable, uses his COPD to lie about things that bother him that really he can be around even with it. I just don't understand why Thomas moves the way that he moves. Now, they're preparing. They should have got the hotel, but he's complaining about the apartment because she has added furniture because the family is coming. She bought a table for $70. He's like, oh my God, $70? Shut the fuck up, Thomas. You gave her a motherfucking credit card with a $25,000 limit, but you're crying about her only spending $70 of that limit to buy a table because your bitch ass doesn't have any fucking furniture. And don't sit here and tell us you don't have furniture because you're trying to be eco or you're trying to live in a way that helps the planet. Because if that was the case, you wouldn't have the meat machine in there, food going bad in there. You wouldn't have half of the appliances you have if that was the case. I think you're doing this thinking it makes you look interesting on TV, but you just look like a big ass bitch. Quite literally, Thomas. Cannot stand this man. But he also gives classic white man in California. He literally gives that, specifically Southern California. They're terrible down there. The men in general are terrible, but the melanin redacted men down there act like women to a certain extent. I don't understand it, but he definitely gets on my nerves with all of that. Now, she's talking to him, and she's like, well, even after my family leaves, she says she wants to keep a table. And he's like, this table is where I do yoga. Again, nobody cares, Thomas. You can you can move the table and do your yoga daily. You're a grown ass man. I don't understand why he cannot do that. He's just is not willing to compromise at all, but wants to be married. Now, she's saying whatever and tries to make peace as she always does. And she's just so happy her family's coming. And I don't know if anyone caught the face he made. He made like a face of disgust about her family coming. I took offense to that just because obviously she's telling you she's lonely. She misses her home country. You won't compromise. You're screaming at her about deodorant and perfume, something most people would not scream about. And you haven't told her because I'm sure if your COPD impacts your sense. I had a client at a previous job last year that had COPD, and he told me, hey, before you come meet with me, just make sure if you do wear perfume, you don't wear too much of it because it can trigger an attack. That is what that client told me. When I did meet with them, I didn't wear any perfume, did have scented deodorant on, and I'm black, so my hair is going to smell like perfume sometimes, okay? But he had a list actually that his doctors at UCSF provided showing like brands of stuff that should be clear of what would bother him. Thomas, go get you a list and give that to her and stop just bitching and destroying her property because you're mad. Like nobody cares anymore about the scent. Live alone. If that's the case, and maybe don't try to have people move in with you or to your country. And then seeing that Thomas is fluent in Portuguese, you can move your happy ass to Brazil as well. But of course, it has to be everything on her part. Now, the family arrives. And Thomas was nice to them, but he had a lot of rules for them, which I thought was rude. And then he also was proud of the fact that there was no TV in the house. I cursed at Thomas and Paola. This is why you're arguing so much. There's no fucking TV in the house. That tells me there's no video games, there's no YouTube, there's no nothing. Y'all are just forced to look at each other. And then you have 8 people coming over your house and y'all don't even got a TV to watch stuff together. This is a disaster. And he's proud to not have a TV. Good for you, Thomas. But Paola, you should have let him get that hotel or gotten an Airbnb and just rented a house that you could have all slept in and left it there. This was crazy for her to do. But I also feel like Thomas was probably complaining about money. But Paola's family was like, this is strange. In our culture, when someone comes to stay with us, we do everything we can to make them comfortable, not give them rules. Like a welcome would have been great, but instead they got a list of rules, learned that there was no TV and there was old ass meat in the refrigerator. And I'm looking at Thomas like, y'all are too much. Y'all are just too much. But later on, they go for a walk as a family, and Paola talks with her brother. And her brother says that he's known Thomas for a while, but he sees how impossible he is. And he said that Thomas has a habit of complaining about things that for most people would not be a problem and that do not affect him or others. But he complains about stuff that doesn't affect him at all. And honestly, Olivia said it the best way. This is exactly what her brother asked. Paola's brother was pretty much, is it worth living in the US with a nut job like this? Because he is definitely a fucking nut job. Something is wrong with Thomas. And I'm glad that the brother called it out because I thought Thomas was incredibly rude and inconsiderate. And I hope that he watches this back and sees how impossible he is. I hope at the tell-all he sees how fucking impossible he is. This is stupid. A perfectly good woman that loves you, and Thomas is not attractive at all. You found a beautiful woman that loved you enough to move across the country that was accomplished, and you have treated her like she is a child with special needs. And I'm so tired of him, and he thinks that he is just right on everything. I'm just over Thomas, and I can see that he's kind of like his parents, the ones that we saw from South Carolina. That irks me a little bit. Let's get through the comments before we move on from these fools. And don't bring Thomas and Paola back for anything, not even a spinoff. They're fucking boring. Them, Marissa, Edward, don't care to ever see them again. Katie, Josh, most of this cast. Olivia says, I think Paola thought having her family stay will persuade Thomas to get furniture, but she was using the situation. But he is a cheap ass. I agree. He's cheap. Honestly, the rich, you go drive in the nicest, richest billion-dollar neighborhoods in California, you going to find a Toyota Prius from 2006, a 2001 Camry. Okay, I believe the rich stay rich by making good decisions, but Thomas don't want to get married. That's why his ass is just so nitpicky about everything, on top of him being an asshole. He probably got her there and realized he couldn't live with her or something. You probably right, Shani. He even told her, you don't have to get married, in the car. He did say that. And then he always picks fights when they're doing stuff related to the wedding. Like when they went to go try them dry ass wedding cakes. I'm like, she's wanting to enjoy this. It's a memorable thing to go cake tasting with your partner, and you're just ruining this. Obviously, you don't want her. Thomas, don't you have a job? She really can't buy no furniture. She got to live in this bare ass apartment with bare ass walls and a computer chair. Lord, Olivia. And that's when I would have had to take a great vacation in a hotel with the fam and went back to Brazil. The way I would have been on a flight back with my family, fuck him and his little ass table and no couch having ass. Thomas, put your skates on and roll on, douche. Okay? Not roll on. He is a jerk burger. He is. 8 people in that house and 2 or 3 of them are kids. That's a recipe for disaster. Yeah, not kind of, Shani. That's a disaster. The disaster has occurred. Lord. I could tell her brother don't like Thomas. But honestly, I don't think, like, I have little brothers. I am the oldest of 4. I have little brothers. One of my little brothers is about to turn 29. The other one, we're 10 years apart. How old am I? 34. So he's 24. The way that they will get protective over me, okay? And they don't ask for much. Just treat her right. But the way Thomas was rude. Thomas and Katie, aka Slam Pig, need to be together. He don't got to worry about perfume. She barely washes. And she barely has any place to live, so she don't got to worry about furniture. You know what? I am hollering at you, Shani. But you might be on to something. You might be on to something. Because they probably would do well together, because Katie want to be left alone like that. Thomas act like he can't smell stuff and do too much. Katie likes to be active and outside along with Thomas. Definitely feel like they might be a good couple, but I am hollering at that because all of that made sense. All of it, Shani. And he had meat that was 2 years old. 2-year-old meat when there are starving kids all over America. Like, what are we doing? But she can't get furniture? To waste food is terrible because I don't like wasting food. I don't like wasting food. I'll give my food to the homeless before I just waste it. But that's just me, y'all. That's just me. Ashia and Maxwell, the last people we're going to discuss, are fake ass Christian who the Lord knows is on BS. Okay? Ashia is the example of just because you go to church every Sunday and can quote the Bible, that does not make you a good person or a good Christian. Ashia is the example of what I mean when I say hypocrites in the church. And she needs to glue her wig down. All it takes is one good breeze. And there it goes. There it goes. Now, Maxwell's sister, Blaze, is being supportive. She's taking Ashia to get her wedding dress. Now, Ashia is planning a wedding at the last damn minute. And even though Maxwell's family has their concerns, they're still trying to deal with this woman and be polite, even though Ashia and her family have been rude as hell. And it seems like the sister, I do want to acknowledge her because I guess Maxwell's sister is a designer and she was able to get some of her designer friends to put together a dress in just 2 days for Ashia that is traditionally made. And she's taking Ashia to do this. Now, Blaze brings up some issues that she has with Rod, because Rod has pretty much accused Rod has pretty much accused Maxwell and his family of being scammers just because they are Nigerian. I think that's fucking rude, and I think that's fucking ignorant. I think that Africans need to stop looking down on Black Americans as if we are not the same people as them, and as if they did not sell us to the clear people who put us on the boats and had us go through slavery and all of that. And Black Americans need to stop coming at Africans and looking at them like they're scammers, because it's just not true. There are Americans who scam people all the fucking time. And there are Americans scamming people in other countries too. So it is a little rude to just assume that, but I do understand Rod asking the question. I just think there was a way that he could have asked the question that was better. Now, Ashia's annoyed and pretty much says that she feels like Blaze is becoming a stumbling block and that she wants Blaze to respect her family. But the problem is, Ashia, to get respect, you have to give it. And your family has not been respectful at all. And honestly, Maxwell's had to tell you some things that are respectful in Nigerian culture as well as around his family. And aside from Ashia being willing to be around the family, she hasn't been fucking respectful either. So it's crazy that she wants everybody to, Ashia's selfish is what I'm trying to get at. Like, she wants everybody to give in to what she wants and how she wants to be respected, but it's not willing to hear anybody else out or be, respectful herself. Now, after the sister and her talk, the sister decides to let it go. I appreciate Blaze for speaking up because Ashia is the type of bitch you're going to have to let her know, I see you for what you are. So you better make sure you keep my brother happy, because if not, I'll be the first to tell him to leave. I see what you're doing, Blaze, and you smart to do it. Now, later on in the episode, we see Ashia talking with her sister, and her sister really looked like her mama. She must have been a unicorn baby for her mama, my goodness. But her sister and Rod are there, and her sister expresses, like, I don't feel like you're waiting. This feels rushed. I feel like you deserve happiness and you should wait. You don't know these people. And her sister says to her, you may think you know them because you talk all the time and pray, but you don't know them. This is your first time really being there. Oh, it was her mom's friend, not her sister. Okay, because the sisters looked old as hell. I'm not even going to lie. So I was like, is this one of the sisters? Lord. But that was the mom's friend, which made sense. I do have the question either. Why was the mom's friend talking sense into her, but Ashia's mother was not? That's the question I have. Because why? Not her sisters are old as fuck. That's why I thought, hell, I knew 3 of them came, but you are correct. 2 of them was a sister. I think one of them was the friend of the mom. But I want to see the mom be more active. It doesn't seem like the mom disagrees with Ashia ever. I feel like the mom spoiled Ashia rotten, and she truly is a rotten egg. She is rotten. Now, the lady's trying to talk sense into her, and Rod then steps in and he's like, how is he going to get a job? He was like, I didn't just get down and come at Maxwell. Rod was like, I said, you be like a newborn baby because your resume is no good in America, which is not all the way true. Now, if Maxwell had like a degree to be a teacher from Nigeria and then came to America and wanted to be a teacher, his resume not going to carry over. Okay. It depends on education and where they're at. But if he's good with his hands, understands how to like do welding, or I don't know, has worked in manufacturing, his skills can carry over to America. But, oh, he has a history degree. Yeah, his skills are non-transferable over here from there. But regardless, I don't want to just say that because someone's coming from a different country means they don't have transferable skills that can go on a resume. That's not true. I've hired plenty of people who, especially living in the Bay Area, we have a huge immigrant population. Most of the Bay, and what makes it great is the diversity. That's what people need to remember. The greatest cities in America that pay the taxes for a lot of these smaller red states, it's because of the diversity that's here. That's all I'm going to say. But your skills are transferable. It doesn't make any sense that Rod's trying to play it this way. Now, here's where I came back on Rod's side. He's like, he has to get a job. How is he going to take care of you? She's like, well, you hire people, Rod. Ain't you the one that's going to get him a job? And I'm looking at this bitch like, you expect Rod to give this man he does not trust a job? So basically, you expect you're going to get your man a job instead of him getting his own job. That's already starting out bad. Let that man find his own job. Once your man proves to you he can find a job on his own, then help him find a job. But until then, why are you trying to have your family hire him when they don't know him? That's Ashia is just a lot. She's an actual lot. How dare you get upset for Rod for having an opinion while expecting him to give this man a job and to fund your life? And Ashia gonna say, well, Rod and her, they could go home to their husband and wife. Who I'm gonna go home to. I'm gonna be alive. Girl, maybe focus on gluing your wig down and then you'll be less lonely, Ashia. I cannot understand why she moves the way she moves. So Rod said to her verbatim, are you that desperate to have somebody's last name? Is it that? And he tapped the table. He said, is it that serious? Wasn't even a big tap. Didn't disrupt the restaurant. Oh, no. That's what we're doing? I don't do violence. I don't do violence. The way I want to whoop on her, y'all, the way I want to whoop on her, how the fuck you this delusional and spoiled and you from Alabama? Okay? When I think of people from Alabama, I think of people who work hard. Okay? And I don't think of this. What the hell is this? What is this, Ashia? Despicable. I just cannot. And she walks off. First of all, I don't like a bitch that goes to say that somebody got violent with her when they didn't get violent with her. That's dangerous, especially against our Black men. They already got the world looking at them like they aggressive. Just because he hit the table because your ass is fucking stupid as hell does not mean that he was violent with you. He didn't even fucking touch you. God, I just cannot with Ashia. But let's get into it. This lady is manipulative of God, delusional, and needs a wigologist. That's it, and that's all. Shani said 2 hours of this bull crap, and there was no Annabelle Lachey. I kind of miss Annabelle giving everybody the resting bitch face. Listen, Annabelle is the only thing worth watching this season. I love me some Annabelle. And I think Shay and his daughter Allison, they love them some Annabelle too, okay? Probably because he smelled the best he's ever smelled with her. Annabelle has Shay whipped into shape. He has lost 80 pounds. That's what you do when you love somebody. That's what you do. Listen, when my weight got bad, spouse's weight, we held each other accountable, okay? That is what you do when you care about somebody. You don't just let them sit. Especially, I'm sure he's still very unattractive, but at least he's probably healthier and smells better. Good for him. Hell. American-born Annabelle knows what she is doing. That smell is barely coming out of his pores now. Shetty, please. It's like her family is scared to tell her anything negative about this man or this relationship. Like she's 5 years old and she's going to throw a tantrum and run away from home and not talk to them. I agree. Not the mama is too old to care. Her mama do look like she just tired and hoping that Ashia will be okay. You could be a natural born American with all the credentials and your resume be no good. Thank you. Thank you. As hard as it is out here in this job market right now. Thank you. She is probably giving her family money so that they don't want to rock the boat. Ooh. She looked him dead in his face and said, I'm looking at the recommendation for the job. I can't. Listen, I might whoop her while speaking in tongues. Ashia thinks she's slick. I could do just what she done. In the name of Jesus, I'm going to drag this whole shantala, blah, 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 whatever the fuck she said. Girl, bye. Can't stand Ashia. I cannot. And she could come for me if she wants on this channel. I see she be coming for YouTubers. Ashia, I'm from the Bay Area. We dance a little different and we talk shit for sport. Bring it on. Like, I just cannot. She irks me. But that is it, you guys. I'm going to come back on camera to say, hey, we have reached the end of this review. For those wondering why I was off camera, there's been some StreamYard issues. So I am going to be probably off camera for a little bit. I am working to set up Streamlabs. So I'm working on that. And I might even stream live from the YouTube studio for the lives that are just with me. So it'll just be my face with none of the, banner going across the bottom and all of that. But you'll still be able to participate in the chat, leave super chats, and all of those good things. But I'm here. I'm alive. I just have to show y'all. We still here. Gang, how you guys are feeling about the season of 90 Day Fiancé. Also, if you guys are watching the Secret Lives of Suburban Wives, which is also on TLC, let me know. I'm still like, do I want to cover? Do I not? Also, if anybody watches 1,000 Pound Roomies on TLC, Discover Plus, or HBO Max, they will be back in August. I don't really cover them, but I enjoy watching those too. But yeah, there'll be a lot that we are going to get done. Shani said, you're going to do that new show about the housewives, the one that came on. Yes, that's that show I was talking about, Shani, the Secret Lives of Suburban Wives. I have to remember that because there's another show on Hulu called The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Now we got The Secret Lives of Suburban Wives. So we will see. I froze again as soon as I came back on camera. But we have reached the end of this review, beautiful people. I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with me. I don't think I have any reviews tomorrow. Great time to let me know if there's anything you guys want to talk about pop culture wise or anything like that. Oh, you watched it. Was it any good? Was it good? I want to know if it was good. Let me know if it was good. AB, DM me. Told you I'm ratting on StreamYard every time. I'm just over it. I'm genuinely over it. I'm really over it. It's not okay. But we are going to figure it out, y'all. That's all we could do. But love and light to everybody. Tap in, like the video, and I will see y'all next time. Good night.